This is going to be the most important lesson that you're going to learn in your life. You're doing it every night anyway, so why don't you get the most out of it? This 10 hours long video is going to change your life forever. I'm going to tell you about the power of sleeping. I will start with a short explanation about sleeping and the benefits you get out of it, and I will finish with a personal example that emphasizes the amazing results it gives you. When we are sleeping, we are going through 5 different stages. During the first and the second stages of sleep, where our brain starts to get into sleeping mode and it's still a little awake, in order to make sure that we chose the right place to sleep in. So with any small interruption, we will be wake up easily. During the third and the fourth stages of sleep, our brain lowers its activity and we are getting into deep sleeping mode. If we wake up someone during one of those stages, it will be very tired. In the fifth stage, this is the stage when we are dreaming, the brain activity is the same as when we are wake up. And it's the best to wake up someone or to wake up by ourselves in this stage, because our brain is functioning in the same manner and we will be very awake. And during this stage, our muscles are paralyzed from the neck to all of the body, because otherwise we would wake up and start to play the dream. When we are these 5 stages occurs in a cycle of 90 minutes. Every 90 minutes we start again from stage 1. So in order to, as I told you, in order to be awake, we need to wake up in the 5th stage. We need to plan it like that. And the time ratio is changing after every cycle. In the first 2 cycles, the most dominant stages are the 3rd and the 4th. But as long as we have more cycles, the 5th stage becomes more dominant. There is a connection between the 5th stage and learning and remembering. Researchers took a group of rats and put them in a maze, In the first day, the rats tried to find a way out and made a lot of mistakes. In the second day, they made less mistakes until some days that they have slept and they found a way easily. The researchers took another group of rats and put them in the maze, but in this time they woke them up before they got into the 5th stage, and what they saw is that the rats didn't find the way out of the maze. After I learned this lesson, my learning process became much more effective. I remember that before I took this course, I had to prepare to the most difficult test in philosophy, and after 2 or 3 hours I was exhausted and I had to go to sleep, but I didn't want to harm my night sleep, and but I couldn't focus otherwise. So my learning process wasn't effective, and after some days I decided to give up and go to sleep, and I slept for 2-3 hours, and then I could concentrate again, and what I saw that it didn't harm my night sleep. I slept very well during the night, and I didn't understand why is that, but after I learned this lesson, I understood that in order to process what we have learned, we have to go to sleep, and then we will remember it in a much better way. We must go to sleep, and it's a mistake to learn all the night before a test, or to skip some hours of sleeping in order to learn more. And in my last year in university, I got a scholarship to go to Vienna to learn German for 2 months. But the catch is this course of German happened during the tests, so I missed all of the dates of tests, and I had to take them all in 1 week, 4 tests. So I didn't imagine how difficult it will be when I enjoyed my time in Vienna, but this period of my life was a disaster. I don't know if I can call it even a period of my life, because I didn't leave the house for 3 weeks, but at least I learned effectively. If I failed in one of those tests, I couldn't finish my degree. So I knew that I have only 3 weeks to sleep, and I knew that it doesn't matter how much I will learn, the sleeping will take care of everything. So I learned for all of the 4 tests every day, because I wanted my brain to work on learning these subjects during I'm sleeping. Every day I wanted to learn everything, and I'm not a researcher, I'm not a doctor, so you don't have to listen to my advice, but let me tell you about my results. In the first test, and the most difficult one, I got 85. Not so impressive, but many failed in this test. In the second test, I got 96. In the third test, I got 98. And in the last test, I got 99. You will maybe say, no, it's because I'm genius and I have a special skill. But you are wrong. Because in my first year in the university, I failed almost in every test I took. I just learned how to learn. It was difficult, but I learned in an effective way, and I got good grades. Now you have to go to sleep in order to remember what I just told you.